Hello, hello. Welcome, folks, to the Land Tamer stream. Put a last bit of creamer in that coffee, sugar, whatever the case may be. Let's get fired up because we're going to be talking networking. And we're going to be talking quality of service. And another vlog topic tonight is being a mentor. So let's fire up the agenda here, see what's on tap for tonight. Yes, Houston, we have liftoff. Yeah, there's a chat. Chat's already live. So hit us up in the chat if you want to say hello. By the way, this wallpaper of the day today is a beautiful shot of the Falcon 9 rocket last night. Successfully delivered the TESS satellite into space. Is going to find new planets. And look forward to see what results come from that. But this is a great shot from SpaceX in beautiful Central Florida, where the Land Tamer calls home. So if you are coming out, by the way, I just thought about this. If you're coming out to Cisco Live Orlando, check out the SpaceX site, see when the launch dates are. Maybe you can catch one. This has been one of my favorite experiences. That we got Central Florida, you got Universal, you got Gatorland, you got Disney and all the parks, but you also have Kennedy Space Center. And most of us engineers, we nerd out when we get there, and it's a great thing to do. So, try to schedule that too. Even bring your kids. They will love it. But getting onto some networking stuff, let's talk about the subject of tonight is being a mentor. And I'll tell you where this came up. This actually came up in our Discord meetup that we had. Yeah, Legoland too. You saw the shuttle. Man, I would have loved to have seen the shuttle. I never came for that. I want to see a Falcon Heavy. It's not as big as a shuttle, supposedly, but yeah, good times, man. Good times. But yeah, mentoring, we were in our little group yesterday, or Tuesday night on Discord. We had our meetup. We had about 8 people in there. And we're just talking networking stuff. And the subject came up about mentoring, however you pronounce it. And we even have someone in our chat here with the name Mentors. And it's something we felt strongly about, especially in my age group, which is, getting on up there, getting midway in our careers. And I just want to talk a little bit about this. This has always been important to me. But in my particular case, I really have not had much in the way of mentoring. And when mentoring, I'm talking about not just life, finances, so many other aspects of life. I'm talking about, the IT field and networking. So it's really important to have, if you can, and it's oftentimes a luxury, right? But it shouldn't have to be, I don't think. In my case, I didn't really have much mentoring until I got to a particular, actually, the company I work for now, I have some mentoring there. And I found people who were, one, more experienced than me. They had more technical knowledge than me in several subjects. See, I'd worked for a number of smaller companies or in smaller departments where, sometimes you're at a job where you kind of become the it guy in terms of techie stuff or technical knowledge or skills. And people look to you. And that was typically the case for me for a number of years until I got to, in particular, the company I'm at now, and we had more experienced networkers. I was kind of new in a full-time networking position because before I've done, I've done the gamut. Started out help desk, ended up doing desktop support, workstation implementations, then server support, server implementations, VMware. And over the years, I got more and more and more into networking to where I want to do that full time. So when I got a full-time networking position, then yes, I had some opportunities to have a mentor, and people mentor me in technologies and enterprise practices, and it's been great. I won't say that I've had a single mentor person, like recognized, designated, wearing the shirt, big plaque on the desk, Quentin's mentor. No, nothing like that. But there have been a lot of instances where people have taken the opportunity to take time out of their schedule, busy schedule, use the energy to sit down with me and help me. Kind of explain, not just, oftentimes you have a task and you need a certain amount of information, or you have a dependency on someone to get that task done. But a person who mentors takes extra time out of selfless interest in that person to really explain some of the background behind it, or explain some of the technology, or explain something else related to that they didn't necessarily have to get that job or task done, but you did it out of kindness and out of a willingness to help, and that is so important. There are a lot of nowadays a lot of people around me are younger and less experienced, and in some cases they have the same skills in particular areas, or they have less skills, sometimes even more skills in certain areas. But in terms of knowledge and experience, when you get our age, there are things that you can't read in a book. And in those cases, it's really helpful to pass along, when we can, wisdom in IT. Wisdom in IT in terms of approach and troubleshooting and things like that have to be learned from experience. So all I'm saying is, it came up the other day. We discussed it. It's kind of stood out as a topic that was important to everyone. And it's something that, from time to time, I've mentioned it before on this channel, that, take an opportunity to help someone and mentor them a little bit. And as a matter of fact, it does often benefit you, because the more you can teach someone, the more knowledge you give them to accomplish things, the more they can help the team, the more they can even help you in the future. Oftentimes at our age, we might be more in supervisory or oversight types of positions, or we're training other people. We're designated to train other people. You train them, they help you, right? As some of the Bizzle, I need a mentor. Yeah, the Bizzle was there talking about that, mentors. We can all give back in our own way and share and learn with others who may all better our skill sets in any career. So true. So true. So it's very important, especially in IT. And it's kind of interesting to watch someone new come on board, and you kind of watch their process, their thinking process. You've been there. You could oftentimes, and some people will do this, they will just sit back and kind of watch the person struggle or go down a path that they shouldn't be going down, or that's going to create disaster. It's unkind to allow that to happen, right? Sometimes someone is not going to approach you. Rarely is someone going to approach you and say, "Will you please be my mentor?" No, it's not how it happens. You have to intervene, right? You have to take initiative. And it's always good to do that. And you feel better when you do it. You benefit as well. So anyway, those are some comments I want to pass along. Written exam study is going well. QoS, I got to shaping and policing, and things started to get fuzzy. It was late last night, so that was probably part of it. The book has been very good that I've been reading, but you get to the point where you're just kind of skimming because things aren't sticking the way they need to. Well, I found an article at lunch today. I linked it here. This is kind of a breakthrough article on shaping versus policing. I tweeted about this too. There's a graph on here that was like, whew, mind blown. It's like, okay, got it. This graph right here, and some of the explanation of it was like, okay, that so makes good sense now. Very well written. This good article. The Cisco document itself was actually a tech note, a troubleshooting tech note, comparing traffic policing and traffic shaping for bandwidth limiting. So, written in 2014. Excellent, though. So it's linked there if you want to check it out. This is important for the written, knowing the difference and knowing where they're applied. I know because Bosan has had questions about this, and I have missed them a number of times. I should be able to get them now. But those were the items I worked on. I wrapped up. I kind of wrapped up this section of QoS. So I'm moving on tonight. I'm going to start in this section of the blueprint, NAT. It includes static NAT, dynamic NAT, policy-based PAT, NAT ALG, IPv6, NAT 6.4, NPTv6. This is kind of a big section that I have marked as C. In other words, you know, I need to research, need to read more, but we're getting well along here. So we've got to even, hey, redfish shortly shaping equals drops. So yeah, man, shaping is, and immediately what's funny is now you're cooking with gas, keep hitting those books and lab every day. They're really helping the reading. Again, I've got a lot of these blueprint areas covered. But I'm hitting big chunks, and the next kind of big chunk is this NAT. Now, I have some experience with NAT, fortunately. I've done a good bit of work on ASA firewalls, and I remember the transition from, I think it was once they rolled out 8.4, they totally changed the way NAT was handled. There was a learning curve there as well to learn that. But yeah, I've had to do twice NAT for tunnels. So I've got a good experience with that, static NAT, dynamic NAT, but some of these other areas, especially IPv6, I have no experience with. So I need to get need to do better with that. So that's where I'm at right now, folks, in the 6s in the blueprint. Just a couple other updates. I talk about streaming stuff here because it may not interest you. It's not really networking related, but it is related to, a lot more people are trying to get into producing videos, vlogs, streaming. So I do mention it here. I try not to spend a lot of time because, again, this is a networking channel, right? But I've got this dilemma here where I'm still kind of researching what stream gear I want to use for lighting. I was interacting with some people today who have some really good quality video stuff. And I don't like taking a lot of time away from networking to do this, but the better I can make the quality of the stream without a huge investment in time. Hey, we got a new follower. Appreciate that. Mr. Haramina, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate the support. But yeah, I try to make, over time, small improvements. For example, this microphone, it didn't take long to research to find it. And it made a huge difference in the quality of the stream. In fact, I used it today because I was doing some training via WebEx. And, you can record a WebEx session. And I tried doing it with the other gear I have. And, I had a Bluetooth headset, actually, work issued. And it was horrible. I used this thing and then immediately followed the training. I had a WebEx conference with quite a few people, and someone who used to be in radio, he's like, by the way, he stopped in the middle of the meeting and acknowledged the microphone. He said, hey, we got another follow, Z Kappa 337. Thank you for the follow. So he commented, like, I knew he used to be like a radio announcer or something. He's like, by the way, I just wanted to stop and ask, that sounds like a very high quality microphone. I said, well, thank you. Yes, it's my personal microphone because I was recording some training, So anyway, yeah, that is something I'm working on. And a number of people are using like the LED panels, which I think look pretty cool. I've seen some of those. The best thing about evaluating lighting gear or any other gear for streaming is a look at the streamer, right? And you can immediately see, the impact it's having on their stream. But my lighting is not that good. And I've seen the LED panels that you can just attach to your screen, and they really blow out a lot of light. Problem is, if you're bald like me and you don't want to wear this all the time, you get that shine, right? So I'm interested. I think what I'm going to go with is the softbox lights. I just don't know what size. And then the other issue is lighting up this green screen. I already have another light that is shining on it from an angle, but I'm probably going to get another light to shine on the green screen and hopefully fix up. And if you have any suggestions, any of you guys are streamers or you produce content, video content, let me know. I'd be happy to hear what recommendations you have. I just want to ask if anyone may have seen the Hacker News today, research malware. always up to date on the Hacker News, mentors, seeing all the exploits out there. It's funny, he mentions that, and earlier today around lunch, my internet dropped. And I can always tell right away because usually I'm working and I have a voice over IP phone, and the phone starts spinning, no connection, and I immediately pretty much know my, I have Spectrum. Don't get me started talking about Spectrum. It's ISP here, but my first thought was, oh man, state actors have just shut down my ISP because that's been in the news lately. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I got going on with it. There's so many other things I want to do with the stream that, I just haven't had time for to add quality to it. I want to possibly, when I get back to labbing, I want to maybe have some music in the background playing or something like that. So a lot going on there. Discord, I just want a couple things about that. We created some new channels here in the last couple of days. We got self-promotion and follow me, so people can post their own, put out there their Twitter, their LinkedIn, or whatever. That's just a way for people to connect. And then self-promotion is if you post your own blog or your own video on YouTube, you can, drop it in there, and that'll help, get some attention. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of people in our Discord are producing good stuff. We've got some bloggers, we got some YouTubers, and it's nice to see when they put something out and you can just promote it there. Also, agile automation, that is something that has been front and center in my mind. That is definitely post CCIE routing and switching. That is going to be my next big thing, I think. It's already sort of creeping in. There are already some things I want to do with automation that would make my life easier. Bro, I saw they posted your vid on the Eve Reddit. I saw that as well, yeah. About to be a star. I will say, Divizzle, after that post on Reddit, now I don't really use Reddit that much. I crawl there after I get hits on Google or a search engine. I'll go there. But sometimes, and I think a few times I've kind of looked around a few channels on Reddit. I don't know if that's what they call them, threads or channels. But yeah, I saw they posted there. My picture was out there, and I sure enough got a number of hits on the YouTube video after that. So, it's interesting, guys, because that video, I think, touched on something that I want to see more of, not necessarily even from me, but just I want to see more, this software that we use, GNS3, and there's a link here I'm about to talk about, Viral, EvenG, of course. This software that we use, we talk a lot about it amongst ourselves, but a couple things I'd love to see more of, and I have seen more of lately even, is the interaction between the community and the developers. And that has been going pretty well. Actually, there was a number of conversations that were sparked by this video. I would love to see more people showing how they use the software. And David Bombal, of course, has done a really good job of that. In fact, one of the links I have here, I didn't know about this until now. He actually has a course on mastering GNS3, which I thought was interesting that someone, that he went to the trouble of creating a course. It's not a free course. He has a lot of free videos. EvenG also has a number of videos, but apparently there's this course I thought was interesting where you can go on and pay, I don't know what it costs, like $10 or something like that, but he teaches you, and I find, I've been interacting with Redfish here on the channel, main developer of EvenG, and it's interesting because those guys, developers, and there are a number of power users who, and I'm sure they will tell you that what we're doing to learn the INE workbook, for example, is just scratching the surface of what the software will do. There's a lot of capability in EvenG, GNS3, Viral even that, we're just scratching the surface of, and there's a lot more capability there. Look, it looks like a course used to be $20, now it's $10. There's a GNS3 Academy, it looks like. Interesting. So yeah, and I think that's, you know, I'm sure that's true for a lot of software, but the video I put out seems to have touched on something that a lot of people are thinking about in the networking community, and it tends to go back and forth. You know, I think some people, I'm probably not the first person to switch from using one product to another. I can guarantee you I'm not the only one who's done that. So I think a lot of network engineers are still kind of undecided and not fully committed to one or the other, and that's fine. You know, it's good that we have a competitive environment. But yeah, that there were a number of comments there, and a number of people viewed the videos and video and commented on it, which I think is great. As long as it keeps the conversation going, you know, that's the important thing. David Bomball's vids. I just learned how to pronounce Bombal, by the way. I was saying David Bombal, but I heard him say his own name on a video. David Bombal. Okay, got it. Comparison vids are, yeah, comparison videos, you know, and raw comparison videos from end users, which is what I am. I'm just an end user, right? But they're honest, they're sincere, and I think that touches a chord. The other article I have today, guys, I cited this one, Breakthrough Article on Shaming Policing, David Bombal, Find a Mentor. So this is from, check this out, guys, and I don't want to be insensitive in these sensitive times. The name of the site is Art of Manliness, okay? And let me just say that I've been a fan of this site for a long time. They have really cool, fun articles. And even though it's titled Art of Manliness, okay, a lot of the articles are co-authored by the person. This is a couple, a man and a wife, a man and woman. And they're both authors of these articles, okay? So it's not just for men, but it is called Art of Manliness, and it's pretty dang cool, all right? So they teach you how to, there's articles that come out, to follow them on Twitter and email lists, but they have articles on, like, how to, if you have to wrestle a bear, you know? How to jump from a moving car, jump out of a moving, the window of a moving car. Practical things, right? Things you need to know. You never know when you might be in this situation. But they have really good stuff, reading lists, and other manly stuff like Find a Mentor. This is part of a series, actually. Yeah, they got they have cool gifts too. I actually bought some stationery one time from the site, and they talk about like writing handwritten letters from time to time, thank you notes, and just being a gentleman. And they had some really cool stationery on here one time. So anyway, this is how to find a mentor, and really tonight we're talking about how to be a mentor, but there's some good reading there. So that's about all I got, folks. Not a lot of time to talk. I got to get to studying tonight. It is NAT, and I just want to appreciate all the support, guys. Thanks for hitting the follows here on the Twitch channel. I'm trying to reach Twitch verified, which is, I think, 200 followers and 3.0 average viewers per stream. I'm at like 2.9. So it recently has spiked up, which is great. I'm getting more and more into the Twitch thing. So yeah, hit that follow if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Discord, of course. Thanks for all the participation here, guys, in the chat. Hope you have a good night. And of course, hit those books, guys. Hit those labs. Keep on studying hard. Reach towards that goal. And yeah, time to sleep. Oh man, I know you're late, Redfish. Wow, we have a lot of viewers here in other continents than where I live, so I appreciate that. Thank you for staying up late, hanging out with us, and contributing to the community. Really appreciate it, guys. Have a good night. We shall see you back here tomorrow night. Actually, tomorrow night's my night off. Sorry. We shall see you back in here Saturday for the Land Tamer stream. Have a good night, folks.